Hey YouTubers, just doing a check-in on the 63 Corvette project, my 63. So I updated the brakes and trailing arms and front spindles to disc brake, which is on these particular ones are 67 control arms and upper and lower A arms, the rear control arms, trailing arms, that it all came off a 67 Corvette. And I put shark bite rear suspension on it and QA1 front coilovers on it, and I'll kind of go over everything real quick and some of the things to look out for. The installation went really well on both ends. It was just the bolt-in process. However, there is something on the shark bite that you should clearance, and I'll show you that here in a second. So let me give you an overall. Here's the frame. The first thing that you want to bring to your attention, I've read this in a couple forums but never really seen it anywhere, is the bump stop is right there. So with the bump stop in, sits right here, it will run into the rear caliper mount right here. So you got to move that inboard. What I think I might do is I might relocate my bump stops down here on the trailing arm. So I'm going to remove all this. You have to cut this out. This is a 63 frame. They changed them. You know, 64, 5, 6, and 7 have slightly different tweaks on each frame. This is the bump stop for the drum brakes, and it hits the calipers. And I'll show you on this side. We go over here. You can see there's the caliper. There's the bump stop bracket. So it'll come down and it'll hit this. So this all has to be removed. You can cut it straight down and maybe reconfigure your bump stop. The front suspension, sorry, it's a mess. The front suspension with the QA1 shock, single adjustable, went in really well. There's plenty of videos on the internet about that. So that went in really good. You can see right underneath there. No problems. Those are 67 control arms and spindles and disc brakes. I ordered the 67 brake line kit from where did I get that? Inline tube, and it's really good quality. I didn't plan on pulling the body off the frame, so the first thing I ordered was one that comes in 3 separate pieces right here. So I had the body off, so I just ordered the right kit for it. I had Van Steel make the e-brake cables that come out in the stock position. That's something that I haven't seen on the internet either as well. So Van Steel makes a kit that the e-brake comes, you got your arm right here. You got basically a half horseshoe that sits right here that this cable wraps around and reattaches to that cable. So this cable wraps around, reattaches to this cable, and then the horseshoe sits here. It's got a little hook that sits right in there. Your spring goes right here, fashions to your frame on a 63, and then of course your e-brake bolts right here, and then from here on out it's stock 63 stuff. So just to recap, Van Steel made the e-brake cables. They seem to fit really well, so I got to finish putting those up. And I'll probably show a video of that all done. You got to relocate the bump stops if you update to 67 control arms. I want with aftermarket adjustable torsion bars, you have to drill out your lower mounts to get a bolt through there if you want to use a bolt. You can use the factory mount, but you got to pound it out and then you got to pound it back in for the shock, because that's the lower shock mount as well. So those no longer have, the back side of them has a little keyway basically cast into it that holds the shock mount level so it doesn't pitch down or up under pressure. So I had to do that. I had to drill those out for the adjustable control arms, and I'm never going back. And besides, that ain't factory anyway. I got the factory stuff over there. So the other clearance issues I had with the shark bite, let me get a better look at this. So in case anybody's considering the shark bite rear suspension system, it's really trick. I like it. A lot of people think it's got too many moving parts, but we'll see. I like it because you can adjust spring rate and ride height separately. So there's your ride height. You can adjust ride height through your spring rate as well, but you loosen it up, you get spongier springs, you tighten it up, you get harder springs. So, I like that, but it's coming together really well. The only clearance issues I had with bolting this together is, see if I can show this. If you look, you get a light on it. Right down there, you see this? That's the bracket that they give you. If you look right down here, right there, you'll have to clearance that. You'll have to notch it or cut it off. Right there. Because your caliper hits it and it won't let you put the bolt in right here. That's the only issue that I found so far that I have to clearance for the caliper. So just FYI, when you're putting it together, that's going to have to be addressed because that's right where your caliper sits and right where your bolt sits. And there again, this is only on 67, so I don't know how it is on the other kits. Well, actually, it should be all the same. But other than that, straight bolt in. Looks really awesome. I won't know how it runs until, or how it drives and performs until I get the car back together. But everything else is going really well. So, yeah, going really good. Anyway, that's my check-in for the 63 Corvette project. Thank you.